Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky.
Let it
resound.
Let it resound.
Loud as the rolling sea.
I like this part right here. Come on.
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on.
Let us march on.
Till victory is won.
Now we add a little something to it. Just to encourage you. We're gonna take it to church right here. Let's go.
We'll keep marching, fighting till the victory is won.
To all my brothers out there.
Hold your head up, brother, till the victory is won.
To all my sisters in the struggle.
Keep believing, sister, till the victory is won.
Till that day.
Till that day
Hey.
let us march on
To victory.
till victory is won. Is won.
I've been talking all this time. Y'all didn't tell me nothing.
I didn't realize you was saying anything.
Well, anyway, I've been talking all this time, and let's go ahead and get the show started. So another month has gone by where we are just about through another month to celebrate the ones that paved the way. A month to celebrate that recognizes people who understands that they stand on the shoulders of those who came before them. February, which comes from the Latin word februa, which means to cleanse, named after the Roman Februalia, which is a month-long festival of purification. For us, it's a month-long festival of recollection and paying tribute. Tribute to Tony Goodson for being the first black person to attend Sulphur Springs High School in a segregated South. Tribute to Fred Hampton for being a revolutionary and sacrificing his life for a better America. Black history was, Black history is, and Black history will always be a cleansing of the spirit, allowing the soul to know that your skin is not your sin, but a virtue of your history. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anthony Goodson. Thank you for joining us. You're alongside with a whole crew of people. Adrian the A. Stinson and his tardiness right now. Kimberly Dow, Eric Russell. How y'all doing tonight?
Good. What's up, world?
So, hey, look, we want everybody to take a moment. Go ahead and push that share button. Enjoy this show tonight. Be sure to comment. You know, we can't do this without y'all's commenting. So I'm going ahead and I'm going to ask y'all, please share this page tonight. And let's get into the conversation. So a lot has happened over the last 30 days. We can do a little bit of recollection of some of the things that we've done. We had our first show of the month. It was called Black History, Black Present, Black Future. Of course, we had Marcello Music on last week. And we had, what was the other show we had, Eric?
Talking wellness, talking music with talking wellness.
Talking music with talking wellness. We had a lot of great shows. I don't know. Tell us y'all's favorite and why. That'll always be cool. We try to keep everything real Black history motivated. In addition to that, we've been telling y'all all month long some of the great people in Black history that has done some great things. So trying to keep it real live for you, trying to keep it real understanding and simple for you, but most importantly, trying to give you guys a great education. But I'm going to go ahead and throw something out there for you. All right, so what's some of your favorite parts of Black history? Just something that you really love about Black history.
I'll jump in first. One of the favorite things about Black history for me is just the opportunity to really celebrate people that look like me. You know, a lot of times we don't get the opportunity to do so, and it really just like, it's kind of like Christmas, right, or Valentine's Day. I look at Valentine's Day, things like that, where you're supposed to love everybody every day, your spouse every day, your girlfriend every day, whatever the case may be. But you take that one special day to make sure they feel special, right? So that's how I look at Black History Month. Like we should appreciate each other all the time, but we take one full month to make sure we do what we do for ourselves, and we allow other people to appreciate us as well. So, and all the accomplishment that's been happening over the past 50 plus years.
All Kim needs to do is unmute her phone or her computer. We might be able to. There we go.
Sorry about that. So what I like about Black History Month is the history, basically. You know, during this month, you know, you get facts from everywhere. Whether you're tuned in to Facebook and someone that you know is posting a Black history fact that it was not in our history books, or whether you're on the rebrandUS group page and you see everything that Anthony posts every day, you know, one of those Black history facts, or one of us that posts a Black history fact. Also at my job, I work for Baylor Scott and White. On our page, on our BSW Connect page, they had a tribute for Black History Month that was very informative. So it's just all of these facts and all the information that you probably never heard before, that I've never heard before in my lifetime, that you're getting. So it's thrown at you. It's a time to learn. It's a time to embrace your history, your culture, and just a great time to be Black.
Good, Kim, good. It says, I like the fact that Anthony is bringing a new person every day. You know what? I like that part too. That's one of my favorite parts of, what I get, when February comes. Because you learn so much, for somebody like me, whenever I put those things up there, I create my own, by the way. And I get to learn. I have to research. I got to find out about some of these people. And sometimes you have to create this from absolutely nowhere. Like, I don't know to go look for Sylvia Robinson, the person who created hip hop. Mm-hmm. I don't know to go look for Fred Hampton, the president of the NAACP chapter in Chicago, 1969. I don't know to go look for these people. And so after you do a little research, you then find it. Eric, we talk about stuff all the time. And it's kind of cool about Black history is like, you live, to a certain degree, Black people feel like a stepchild in America, right? Wouldn't y'all agree? Mm-hmm. And then when you realize that stepchild is the one that actually is really responsible for a lot of big things, it gives you a little bit of hope. Because Kim, I tell people this all the time as well. When I was a kid, to live in a brick house seemed like you were rich, you made it. And so, when you start realizing that the first person to do open heart surgery was Black, person who created these tools, putting in people's hearts, was a Black man. People who sent them to the moon was a Black person. When you realize that, you think, wait a minute, that house is, I can probably think a little bigger than that, right?
Right, absolutely. It kind of broadens your horizon. It kind of opens you up. And I think it also gives us a chance as a people, whenever we are younger, to know that these things are definitely possible, because we're not taught that. We weren't taught that in our generation. But, now it's a little bit more prominent. It's more popular. And during Black History Month, of course, that didn't come about until the 1980s. But it just gives us a chance to show our youth that it is possible to be creative. It is possible to be wealthy, and it's possible to shoot for your dreams, for sure.
And I think that, go back to what Anthony was saying too, that representation is huge. We all talk about media and things like that, but the fact that we get to highlight so many great different inventions, great inventors,
Mhm.
The representation is huge,
Mhm.
and I don't know necessarily give it that much credence to it, but we should, because if what we see in our neighborhoods, if that's what we aspire to be, and that's it, again, that limits us so much than what we can be. So I love the fact that we do this, and we talk about doing it on a regular basis throughout the year. We probably should do that at least sporadically throughout the rest of the year. Just doing highlights of what Black people have done in America. So I love the idea that we just keep celebrating ourselves.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's kind of funny. Although I should probably know this, I'm gonna say it anyway. So, and I tell people this is gonna come out in the documentary that I'm working on. But and I said this the other day, but so my daddy, of course, was the first black student to go to Sulphur Springs High School. And it's funny because we showed a promo of somebody, you.
Yeah.
But that guy, Melvin, he told me, he said, I asked him, I said, so how was it for you in 1968 or whatever year he went to high school? And I said, was it real bad for you? He said, no, it was okay. I said, did you get in trouble? No, not really. Did they bully you? Did they call you the N-word? Did all these things happen to you? He said, no, not really. And I'm like, well, why didn't that happen? And his response was so cool to me. He said, it didn't happen because Tony took it for me. He said, Tony was the first to win. Since he went first, he got all that stuff. And they worked all those things out. So in celebrating Black History, that it's probably reminds me more of all the people who took our iniquities. And I'm not trying to compare them to Jesus by no means. When I said the word iniquities, but there's people who paved the way before us. And like Michael Jackson being the first person to go on MTV. So he had, even though that sounded like a big thing, there are so many people who talk so badly about this man that we don't necessarily know about. So whenever the LL Cool J's and the Lil Waynes and all these people come after him, they don't hear that same backlash.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree.
Paving the way is very
Yeah.
important.
Hey,
So
quick question for you guys. I was thinking about this today, and it's something just out of the blue that I just want to bring up real quick. Can you guys tell me an example or a difference between congregation and segregation? I know what that means. You probably know what that means too. But I think sometimes when people see a group of Black people together, they can see that secluded or being segregated or whatever in our little collective. But can you kind of talk about a little bit more about what congregation for Black people is, as opposed to what segregation was back in the day?
Well, congregation, of course, it's always a celebration when Black people get together. So we get together and we congregate. It's a celebration of the moment a lot of times. It's not necessarily evil. It's not necessarily, it's not even always good. It's just, we just wander together. Segregation means I'm pushing you away. You are forced to be together. Congregating means I want to be together. Because, have you ever gone to work? You didn't know anybody. I know some of the listeners out there. Have you ever gone to work? You didn't know anybody, but you saw 50 people out there, maybe half of them or 10 of them are your color. They're Black. And y'all get together. Y'all congregate. And it's just natural. It's very natural. I would imagine women probably do the same thing and so forth and so on. But I don't think it's a negative thing. In fact, I think it's a great positive thing. It's funny that we naturally kind of congregate, but it's hard for us to have unity.
Yeah,
That's
Right.
weird.
that's a good point.
Right. I'm gonna piggyback off of Anthony. I think
On
that,
with it, FD.
so I think along the same lines. But I feel like congregation, like you said, it's a means for a celebration, and I think it brings us together through a certain commonality. We have something in common, whether it's our skin color, whether we're all women, whether like we congregate at church because we all have Jesus in common and we're there to worship. We congregate in other places, because we all have this in common. Like you said, at work, we all do the same job. We all have the same title. Well, it takes us all to make this happen. But yeah, and segregation is when you're forced to be in a setting. So I totally agree.
But do y'all think, and we're going to go to a break here in a little bit, and we've got Rebrand Her coming up, but do y'all think congregate is a negative term once you're outside of church? Like if Black people are congregating over there, does that sound like a negative term?
I think
People use it negatively.
It can be.
I think some people try to make that negative because of what they see. They don't like what they see.
And I look at it also too, like when I was thinking about that term, I was like, Black owned restaurants. We're talking about historical Black colleges and universities, those type of things like that, right? Where there's a whole bunch of people who look like us, and we're not necessarily excluding. I know white people that go to those HBCUs as well, so it's not necessarily excluding which we would be segregating at that point. But you know what I'm saying? I think people see that congregation as negative when you think about it from those perspectives, from an HBCU or Black-owned businesses. But it's not that at all. It's just celebratory, and it's an opportunity for you to see more people that look like you. Because for a long time there was no Black-owned restaurants or restaurants that were owned by people that look like us, or there were no universities that had professors and then junk that looked like us. You know what I'm saying? So it was just about, once again, representation as opposed to a segregation type of scenario.
I gotta say, it's somebody that we know, Ace. Actually, this person's been on the show. I won't say any names. In fact, the whole group that I'm talking about has all been on this show. But we all kind of work together. Some females, we all kind of work together and same jobs and so forth. And the conversation is, look, we have a meeting over at such and such. It's gonna be like 30 of us together. Once we get in there, let's not speak to each other. That's always the conversation before we go in. And we already kind of know it, but just in case, we always send each other a text, hey, let's not speak to each other. And that's because we don't want them to think that we congregating and we don't associate with everyone else. But anyway, hey, we got Rebrand Her coming up in just a little bit. Y'all be sure to get y'all's comments in. Be sure to share this page. Let's have fun tonight. It's the end of Black History Month. This is our last show of the month. And we've had a good time. We want y'all to be a part of this. Kim, what we got coming up?
So what we have coming up is a little education about Black history, and I'm gonna do a little preaching whenever we come back.
Okay.
Oh, well, all right. We'll see y'all in about 30 seconds. Welcome back. It's time to talk a little Rebrand Her. We got Kim Dial on the mic. Kim, do you like this little background music? Do we need to speed it up, slow it down? What we doing?
Oh, we need some bumpity bump.
We need some rock or something?
We're finna preach and have a bump. Okay.
Okay. Let's talk about.
That's a serious preacher, though.
There's a lot of them, but let's go there today. I wanted to talk about this week. I wanted to talk about our shirts. Number one, our rebrandUS shirts. This is our tribute to Black History Month, and we have gotten an overwhelming response to these shirts. So I just wanted to let all of our viewers and listeners know that soon they will be available. Follow our page on Facebook and on YouTube, to
IG,
or in Instagram to take us up on the opportunity to buy one of these shirts. So we'll have all of that information available for you coming up within the next week. And we hope that you support us, rebrand us, because we're just out here just trying to make a change and let our voices be heard. But I wanted to talk about also the colors of the shirt and what they mean, to us. So the red, and it's the colors of the Pan-African flag. Okay, so the red it symbolizes the blood that unites all people of Black African ancestry. Okay, and all of the blood that was shed for liberation. The black represents the people whose existence as a nation, though not a nation state, is affirmed by the existence of the flag. The green is the abundance and vibrant natural wealth of Africa, the motherland. And the yellow represents the mineral wealth. So, so red, yellow, green, and black. Rebrand. Okay. But I also wanted to preach a little bit. Okay.
Wow.
As everyone knows, I am in the medical field. And so I wanted to talk to everyone today about health. Okay. Health as an overall, mental health, physical health. And amidst all of the hype of Black History Month, I would like to talk about our health in the African American community and how we do not need to lose sight of taking care of ourselves, and I'm talking to more than just women tonight. Among African American females, 3 cancer types, breast, lung, and colorectal, make up more than half of all new cancer cases. African American women are 4 times more likely to die from breast cancer than white women. Prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in black men, but they are more likely to die from lung cancer. Current studies are also being conducted for the rise in cancer with Hispanics as well. Cancer diagnoses are projected to rise 142% in the Hispanic community in 2025. Let's pay attention, take care of ourselves, and remember everything in moderation. How? Well, I'm glad you asked.
How?
How?
Get a regular checkup every year and establish with a primary care physician. Usually at that appointment, they will do some blood work. So the blood work can usually reveal some abnormalities that cannot be palpated, seen, or felt by the human body. Okay. Get a colonoscopy at the age of 50. And if someone in your family has a history of colon cancer, the recommendation is age 40. Ladies, get a routine pap smear. The recommendation is every 3 years, as long as you don't have a history of abnormal cells. And if you're having sex, you need a pap smear. Okay. Get a mammogram. The recommendation age for that is 40 years old. But if you have a family history of breast cancer, the recommendation is 35 years old. Guys, get your prostate checked. Okay. There's blood work besides the physical exam that can be done in the doctor's office.
Thanks for clearing that up.
There is a blood test that can be performed that can also detect any kind of prostate abnormalities. So stop eating soul food all the time. Everything in moderation. What? I love hot water cornbread, but the grease and the fat, it clogs our arteries, and it causes our cholesterol to be excessive, which causes heart disease. And last but not least, get counseling. Okay. In the Black community, we shun counseling, but sometimes life just gets too hard. Whether it's depression, anxiety, you're able to vent to someone who has an unbiased opinion and who doesn't know whoever you're talking about or whoever you want to vent about. So it's all help, and we all need help sometimes. So if you feel that something is not right with your body, you go and get checked. Our bodies have different ways of telling us when something isn't right, and listen and take action. These are a few things that we can do to solidify our longevity and ensure our best life. If we don't take care of ourselves, we won't have a Black history to talk about, and we will be just that, history. Rebrand history, rebrand health, and rebrand her.
Balls.
She getting the Emmy for that one. She getting the Emmy for that one.
I also want to shout out to Lena Nash Adams. She is someone that is from the Sulphur Springs community. She is on her 2nd bout with breast cancer. Lena, I just want to let you know that I love you. I love your family and the support that they're giving you, and you will beat this again. To God be the glory. Right on.
We certainly have her in our prayers, Lena, and her whole family, Alva, and so forth. Kim, thank you. Kim, my mom said I read too fast. Let me start over. Kim, thank you. This is needed information. How did I do, Eric? Kirby Morton says, I need a pap smear.
Okay, Kurt.
He's 40.
You came kind of deep on that. I got like 6 jokes I had to X off. Can't do that one.
Here comes the laugh. Suck it up, buttercup. Not my hot water cornbread. Tony Goodson, he said he ain't getting rid of his hot water cornbread.
All right, Tony, just every now and again.
Wow.
Hey, look,
That's
that
hilarious.
soul food, all our grease and everything, that's our birthright.
Yeah, no kidding. Kirby Morton said, nice. Just from my experience, the African American community hesitates to accept help. Home health, hospice, primary care. That's a really great point, actually. We need to do better. We need to do a better job of educating on all the needed professional interventions. Absolutely, we do, Kirby. Great point. Love hearing you guys. Hey, we love having you to hear us.
Yes, we love y'all too.
Yes, sir. And also we have, and I'm whiter than Biden. All right, we got our white crowd coming back,
That's
celebrating
funny.
Black History Month all month
Yes.
long. Tonight being the last month, or the last night of Black History. You know what, y'all? We wanted to talk about the sign of the times. Sign of the times. There's a lot of things going on right now, especially since COVID. COVID has hit us, and it has changed things that we never really expected. Right before COVID came in, Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter accident, and that we didn't think it could get any worse. And I don't think it was a month later this happened. And now everything is starting to go back up. I mean, we got the price of rent, gas, inflation all around us. People's jobs aren't even really paying they're not going up. Minimum wage is not going up. What say you? Tell me what's going on.
You know what? Really, right now is the perfect recipe for disaster. Whenever you have things becoming out of reach to the people, and you having the people needing to obtain those things that are out of reach, we setting ourselves up for failure. You're setting yourself up for some like Hollywood movie type stuff. It's getting to the point with this inflation going up and jobs, not, the money is level, but the inflation is going up. We're not there yet, but it's a recipe for disaster. It's getting to the point to where, I think like Tupac, he said in one of his interviews, things like that. If I know you're on the other side of that door and I'm hungry and you got food, I keep knocking and you won't let me in, give me that food. Eventually those hunger pains start kicking in too much. I'm gonna kick that door in.
Setting the people to have to rely on government more, which is what they want. You know what? Great comment, by the way. So I saw something the other day. I think y'all have seen it. And the comment, and somebody said his grandfather walked 10 miles to school. His father walked 5 miles to school. Have y'all seen this? Mm-hmm. He said, I drive a Mercedes. He said, I drive a Cadillac. My son drives a Mercedes to school. His son will drive like a BMW to school. But his son will then walk 10 miles and his grandson will walk 5. And, that's kind of the cycle. And so basically what he was saying is, my grandfather struggled. So my great-grandfather struggled, so my grandfather wouldn't have to struggle as much. My grandfather struggled so that my father wouldn't have to struggle as much, so forth, so on. But eventually, the cycle goes around to where now I'm doing so well that my kids don't have to worry, and their kids eventually are going to have to pay for it. I'm thinking about right now, the times that we're dealing with. Now, of course, we would like to just call it a COVID situation, the results of that. But I'm thinking right now that we're sitting in a situation where we've gotten lazy. We've gotten used to technology. We've gotten all these things, and now it's setting us up to where if we had to survive off the land, we wouldn't be able to do it. It'll push us way back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Have you seen people going camping right now? I mean, like if they go camping, it's like they have to have this generator. They have to, what happened to roughing? I mean, people can't rough it anymore,
Right.
So they don't know how. But also, with what you were saying about inflation, like raw materials, housing, gas, everything is hard to get. I mean, people have commutes to work. The people that are still in the workforce, they have commutes to work and they're kind of forced. And I've seen it firsthand, where one of my people came to me and was like, hey, can I work from home? Because, hey, the gas, I can't afford the gas with my commute now, So it's making people have to choose between, certain things, and I hate it.
And I wonder, we live in Texas. We're seeing things different in Texas. Like maybe 2-3 years ago, the housing market wasn't what it is today. We blame it on Californians moving over here. But if you're living in Mississippi, are you seeing the same thing? I mean, of course, lumber and all those things are going up, so houses are going to cost more. But I wonder if the sign of the times are everywhere or just in our environment. Eric, I think you said it. We were getting to it earlier. If what you see is all you see, then you don't see all that there is. That's basically what you were about to get to. And I think what we're seeing is certainly what's going on around us. But I haven't done the research to see how people of Alabama are starting to feel. Is their rent going like crazy? Are the Californians moving to Mississippi? Hey, look, we got a comment that's coming in. It's a rather large one. And quite honestly, I think I'm going to read it after we come back from Ace's Place. It's a very good comment. I was reading it as Kim was speaking. Ace, what do we have coming up on Ace's Place?
We have a nice little discussion about where are our priorities as a community and society.
Okay, we'll see y'all in about 45 seconds.
Want to bring that curb appeal back to your home or business? Let us help you. Call Ace Power Washing at 469-337-4080 or email us at powerwashingace3@gmail.com. Whether it's sidewalks, driveways, house or building washing, we'll take care of you. Call or email today for your free quote. We'll see you soon.
The best way to change the world is to change your world. And that begins with me.
Ace's place. All right, Ace, what you got for us?
Hey, tonight, just want to just a simple question about where our priorities at as a society as a whole. It's kind of this one's kind of in catch-22 because of a certain group of people who do deserve, but there's another group of people that are not given they deserve, but they're all the same. So I was reading today and I saw where DISD has raised the salaries of their head football coaches. So I think the head football coach minimum salary will be $95,000. Okay, these guys they're there all day. They game plan. They get these guys together. And they work hard. But at the same time, you have teachers in the same building who are still underpaid, who are still not being paid their worth. Right now, the schools are understaffed. You have teachers taking on more responsibility. I happen to know a lot of teachers, and there's a general consensus: stress, 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 stress. Oh my God, like that. And it just as a society, where our priorities at? Of course, we live in Texas, and we know Friday Night Lights, high school football is everything. But at the same time, when we sit down to think about we're going to raise that salary, when we sit down and think about, hey, we're going to pay these guys this, those people that made those decisions, they're in education. They are a part of the educational system, and it just kind of bewilders me. Bookmark that. I've been wanting to use that word. It just kind of bewilders me how educational professionals can completely overlook education and go straight to the entertainment and straight to sports and things like that. And again, I'm not saying that these coaches don't deserve that money at all. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying at the same time, why haven't we considered these teaching professionals that deal with these kids every day? They dealing with the problem kids, they dealing with the fights, the disrespect, the overcrowding. Teachers are spending their own money on materials and supplies. Teachers are not working. Teachers are working part-time jobs because they have to, not because they're picking up extra money, on the side. Again, the question just comes: as a society, where are our priorities? What are we putting into the future? What are we putting into the things that count? What are we putting into the children? I just wanted to throw that out there. That just kind of again bewildered me as far as that whole thing. We got to do better as a whole, and this is speaking, to us all: black, white, Hispanic, Asian, things like that. And to my black brothers and sisters, I do want to say, speak on sports. Football and basketball is not the only way out. Let's put something in. Football and basketball is not the only way out. We have plenty of other options. You have drug dealing. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. But yeah, I see what I'm saying. Just priority wise, we got to do better, everybody, as a society. And here at rebrandUS, I think I love that what we're trying to do is somebody has to step up, somebody has to put their foot forward, somebody has to make that noise, somebody has to say something, and we have to get action. And those are you out there, our rebrandUS listeners, and those 1,000 people who are going to go to YouTube and subscribe. We got to do this together. We got to make a change.
All right, that's good. I love it, Ace. I love it.
Good. Good point.
Let's go to the comments real quick. Kirby says they're going to where there's more. He also says freedom, less crime, and no state income tax. Oh, he talking about Alabama. I mean, when I was talking about the Californians moving in. Anyway, let's talk about this real quick. So, a comment came in, and Toria Wright, she says, what if during Black History Month, white people also told their kids and grandkids how they treated our black parents and grandparents? What if? That is what white people need to know to move forward. Black history, yes, is about inventors, scientists, civil rights, segregation, voting rights, yes, even slavery, but we only learn what black people went through. What if white people, parents and grandparents, said to their family, yes, I called him an N-word, and yes, me and dad torched their houses because...
Hey, you got to work on your reading. That's a great comment, but that says, what if I called him an N asterisk, GG asterisk asterisk?
How do you say that? You spelled it. How do you say it?
I said those symbols represent as an asterisk.
What do y'all think about that, though? Do you think that will make a difference?
I don't think they have to say it because they see them do it. I think a lot of them they still do it, you know. But I mean, an admission. What good is it going to do to admit that they did that? You know, what if? What if they came and what if they said, okay, you know, Anthony, yes, my mother did tell me that she did that. You know, is that gonna anger you? How is that gonna make you feel?
No, you know, I think it helps because this is the thing right here, and this is my honest belief. We first of all, to everybody out there, racist and everything, y'all are non-factors anymore. Y'all don't even realize. Black people, we appreciate you racist people. We just don't like when you hide yourself. Like, I appreciate you for being racist and, you know, hey, stay over there, stuff like that. But I think that statement, I think that would be a good thing in the sense of we have a lot of white brothers and sisters who literally don't know. Like, they have an idea, but they don't know. So I think, you know, if they did hear about we did this, it kind of like, damn, you know, so next time something happens, maybe they do believe that, hey, maybe that guy was innocent. Maybe that did happen just because he was black. You know what? Maybe that person was racist that did that. You know, I think it would give them a different perspective.
So what you're saying is it would bring about more understanding?
It'll bring about more understanding. You know what? Oh my God, this, you know, with the rebrand her and this understanding coming in here, we gotta watch out. She coming out the Barbara Walters spot.
Hey, coming from a person who's whiter than Biden, said so by himself, by the way. Kirby said, agreed, but also those were wrongs done by several generations previous, and we've evolved as a society. You know what, Kim? Yeah. This is what I think. I think it would help, actually, because now you have to admit wrongdoing. And if you have to admit wrongdoing, then what you're doing is you're trying to reverse the wrongdoing. So if I admit, yes, my grandfather, or I guess today we're not lynching people or whatever, but you know, if grandparent who's 80 years old say, yes, you know, I admit blah, 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 and they say this to their grandparent, their grandkids or their kids, now all of a sudden you're retraining the brain, especially if he's really sorrowful, because there's going to be tears behind something like that. Now, you know, where do you redirect that? Do you, I mean, there's reparations come at that point, not necessarily in the form of money, but sorrow, you know, understanding. I got a quick story. So I went back home to my hometown one day after graduating from college, and a white man, I went to see him. I just went to go see him. And we're hanging out. His son was one of my classmates, so we're just hanging out, talking and enjoying each other. And he said to me, he started crying about another person that's in our class, another black man that's in our class. And so he was crying about him, telling him how he know that white man has just not been his best friend. Not that he did anything to him, but he just didn't. This kid never cared about white people. So he cried, and he came to me. He said, "I want to pay for his college." He said, "I need to do something. He said he deserves it. You know, let me do my part." So he literally started paying for him to go to college. Now, I'm not saying you got to come out of your money, and that's some form of reparation. Wouldn't y'all agree? But that's certainly something. Imagine if everybody did that, because I'm sure he was trying to right whatever wrongs maybe his ancestors, maybe he did that I didn't know about, but something has to be done. Some effort needs to be put forth. Go into the comments, but needs to be honored as wrongdoing. I think we have so many people that are in denial. So I think, do I think some need to hear? You know what? We may be talking too fast. I'm gonna let y'all type and put some punctuations in.
Hey,
I think we have so many people that are in denial. Do I think some need to hear the other side of the story? I guess it's the second part. My 3 kids know better than I. Embarrassingly so, the heartaches and struggles of the African community, African American. They're learning it in school, which is appropriate as long as it's accurate. Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my thing is like I'm thinking about from the perspective of if I'm a grandparent that actually did that stuff, right? And I'm a grandkid from both perspectives. Now the grandkid doesn't know that the grandparents did that. A lot of people like, they're in their perspective like that never happened. My folks didn't do the kind of stuff, so why should I be accountable for that stuff, right? So
Great
if
point.
the grandparent does tell them that, then you take some individual accountability. Because a lot of people don't want to take accountability for the country. The country's not taking accountability for an individual. So it has to be an individual thing. Like we're talking about rebrand me, rebrand her, rebrand us. It starts with an individual, right? So if it starts in the household, then you can start making some changes in that regard. But it would be helpful. I agree with that statement in regards to creating that dialogue. Because if you do have that deep empathy, a deep understanding, a deep sorrow for something, that's the first step in changing something. Let's say me and my wife. Let's say I did something to her, and I said I'm sorry. I don't mean it. I'm not gonna try to change it. But I really genuinely mean I'm sorry. I'm gonna do everything I can to change what I did to hurt her feelings or whatever the case may be. So it takes that piece of emotion to want to change something you've done or something you did, something you know about. So I think that's be a huge step in the right direction. Do I think it happened? I think little by little it does. I just don't think as a whole it will anytime soon.
Well, I think it will. I think as a whole it will, but I don't think it's going to do anything systemically.
That's good. That's probably the best way to say it. Yep.
But systemically, because the money and the power, they want to keep it. It's I think Kirby's coming. He just said about his 3 kids. I look at young kids. I look at young white kids and young black kids playing things like that, and I feel sorry for them. Because I know at some point in their life, somebody's going to tell them that they're different. And somebody's going to, on either side, somebody's going to tell that black kid, hey, watch that white kid. Somebody's going to tell that white kid, hey, you really shouldn't be playing with that black kid. And I hate that for the kids because they come up so innocent, and it's the older generation that kills that. The solution is in the kids. If we all teach them right and raise them right, the solution is there. It's just we keep pulling it out of them.
But I mean, we don't want them to be in the dark about it either.
Yeah, definitely not in the dark.
We want to give them that sense of knowing, when someone is willing to deal with you or not, Yeah.
So, that's why.
And we can't be in each and every household. We would love for everyone to be wholesome and not see color, but that unfortunately that's just that's not the reality.
That's why
and also what we were talking about, I feel like with any wrongful situation, admission is the first step in the process of healing. So
Absolutely.
Terry Wright says we are never going to get reparations, so it is time to step up, take care of each other, and not let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. Reparations, we've talked about this on several occasions. To me, it's the absolute best. It's the best and the worst idea. It's the best because, sure, it'll help, land will be bought, businesses will be started. But it's the worst because how do you do it? You can't just dump money onto anybody who don't have money. Mark Cuban said, we talked about this the other day, one of me and y'all. He said that however you get the money is how you're going to lose it. If you win it in the lottery, you're gonna eventually lose it. If you learn how to work hard and get it, then you'll never lose it. But if you do, guess what? You know how to go back and get it. So reparations is a lottery.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I'm definitely willing to take my chances. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I think we talk about reparations. Hey, look,
reparations would do more harm than it would.
It would do more harm because I think it needs to be something different than monetary. I think reparations need to be in the form of reform.
Sound it out.
It needs to be in the form of putting things in place, putting certain systems in place. other than monetary value. Now, definitely, the ace will take the cash.
Well, I think we need reparations. I just think we need to have education, of course, before. It has to be a 10-year, maybe 25-year plan, before giving out money. And maybe you're giving it out throughout the 25-year plan. But it has to come with some education. It has to come with some unplucking of some old bad seeds and then inserting some new seeds in these places. It has to come with some forgiveness. And it also can't come with your foot on my neck, like welfare and all these things. It has to come with the intent to promote, not the intent to hold down.
Liberate.
To liberate. It's a even better word. All right, look, we got to talk about our person. I'll get with you in just a second, Eric. Person of the day, Fred Hampton. Man, this I'm sure y'all seen.
Chairman.
Exactly. This is Fred Hampton, the leader of the Black Panther Party in Chicago. He says you can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail the revolution. I disagree with that. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. And also, we don't think fighting fire with fire is best. We think fight fire with water is best. Some say he was a radical. The truth says he was the commander of this thing called freedom in America's political pursuit. His words were powerful, his actions even more so. His life was wrapped around civil rights, so much so that even his mother used to babysit the slain Emmett Till when Emmett was a child. Fred Hampton had a way of bringing all races together. Y'all remember that? All races together. He was not just a Black Panther, black person, black people movement. He had a way of bringing all races together in a way that seemed to be a threat to the FBI. In fact, you can't say gone too soon. You have to say taken. Check out his biopic, Judas and the Black Messiah, and rebrandUS honors Fred Hampton. All right, Eric, what you got for us?
Man, we're gonna talk about for a couple of minutes, putting things on your shoulder and carrying a burden, including the kitchen sink.
Oh, nice! I can't wait.
Rebrand.
I think that definitely is the foundation of for everything. Because if you don't have love or a passion for something, you're not going to fight towards it. My kids are very young, still just 4 and 2. However, teaching them how to respect themselves, respecting each other. rebrandUS missions basically is to help empower Black people to envision ourselves as better people.
All right, Eric, what you got for us?
So I'm gonna get you to bring that picture for me, Anthony. The sink. I'm the first to say that's probably not a kitchen sink. It's probably a bathroom sink. I'm gonna say that first and foremost. But the reason I thought this picture was kind of a cool picture. First of all, I read the caption. The caption says, "When you ask me how I'm doing, and I say I'm functioning, this is what I mean." If you pay attention to the picture, that sink is functioning. You turn the faucet on, the water runs down the drain. The drain goes into the wall, the pipe, and the piping system is intact in that way. But if you look at all the stuff around it, it's rusted. You got stuff. The sink is actually not connected to the wall. You got stuff on the floor. I mean, it's pretty much a wreck. And something I talk about on a regular basis with people that's within my circle of life. It's survival versus thrive, right? So this person used the terminology of functioning. So I'm gonna just shift it to the word survival. So a lot of people, including yourself, including somebody that you may love, go through this every day, and just getting in a certain neighborhood, getting home safely is survival. That's the best thing they can do for themselves that day is get home, get to work, get to home, get to school, get to home, whatever case may be. That's survival for them. And so we ask a lot of people to do a whole lot more than they're capable of doing mentally a lot of times. And sometimes it could be something simple as I won't say it's simple, but I would say it could be something more specific. Like if you had an issue with your dad growing up, right? Or you had an issue with your mom or your sister or brother, then you had some real relational issues with them, and you had trouble relating to men or trouble relating to women because of the relationship that you had with your parents or your sibling. You are actually surviving in that perspective as well, in regards to relationally speaking. So if I'm expecting you to be a very good fit for a relationship, an intimate relationship, and you have an issue with women, or if I'm a man, obviously, if you have issues with me, there's gonna be an issue. To me, my expectation could be way over the top than what I expect for you. So that's what I'm talking about for survival. You have to be really careful about what we expect from people because they're not. Some people are just not capable of doing what we expect of them. So how do you get to the point of thriving though? First, you have to identify yourself that you just are in survival mode. So if you have the people around you that's going to keep it real with you, like man, I see right now you just surviving, man. I see that you just getting by. I see you just baseline, you making it happen or whatever. And I see you struggling throughout the day, but I see you making it, man. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real with you, but I can see you just surviving. So have somebody people around you that can identify that with you, help you stay sane and base and have that foundation set. But then once you identify what that is, then go out and seek some mental health counseling or help people around that to help you find how do you get to the point where you can start thriving for yourself. And thriving for me may not look the same for Anthony. Thriving for me may not look the same for Ace. Thriving for me may be making $1 million and driving nice cars, whatever the case to be. Thriving for somebody else could be simple as, hey, I got a nice house. My kids got clothes in their back. I got food to eat. They're in a safe school district, things like that. So we have to keep in mind what survival looks like for different people, and then also allow them to be able to thrive. So this goes to like, especially when we were being judgmental about somebody. Just think about the times that you're just surviving. I can think of the most recent time I've survived when my mom passed, right? And so that was a hard time for me. And I know good and well, just getting to work and get back home was that's my goal every day. Just getting to work and get back home. So we all go through those times, whether it be temporary or something more long lasting. So we just have grace for people again and allow them to start to thrive at their own time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very good, Eric. Very good.
Well, I like that.
Good job, Eric.
Oh, yeah, y'all make me want to. I got to go back and redo Ace's play. They coming with it.
I know.
Tuck it up, Buttercup. All right, thank you very much for that, Eric. Hey, surviving. I mean, we're all surviving in some things. Sometimes it's just a job. We want to get to the next place. We've all been
Absolutely.
there. Speaking of surviving, we're talking about Black History. We're doing a Black History in review. Actually, there's something going on. Me and Ace talked about. Actually, I think I talked about this with all of y'all. I'm gonna throw this question out there because I've thought about it on several occasions. Somebody, I can't remember who it was, but they made the comment that Kanye West is the Michael Jackson of our time, of our day.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't y'all. It was some celebrity. I can't remember who it was. Kanye West is the Michael Jackson of our day. And I thought about that and I was like, what? No. But see, I think if you think about it in one way, for those of us who are over 40, I guess, we remember the hoopla of Michael Jackson. He was on everything, every second, every song, 8 Grammys, you name it. Michael Jackson, all Michael Jackson. But when I started thinking about Michael Jackson bought the Elephant Man's bones. These are rumors, of course, some of them. He's sleeping in that hyperbaric chamber. Michael Jackson is married to Elizabeth Taylor. All the rumors going on in the hoopla and the crazy wacko jacko stuff. And then you compare that to the things of Kanye West today. Would you say, and keep in mind, Michael Jackson was a genius. Kanye West is a genius. But see, the funny part about Michael is black people never threw away Michael. Kanye, black people just threw him away. White people love him. That's how he got $9 billion. What do y'all think?
I don't think we just threw him away because I actually like Kanye. I think he is very smart. I think he is a good person for the community. He just acting. I think he just acting crazy. He just want to do something. I mean,
wow.
We've never been through what he's going through, so we don't know how we would react. But he's not the Michael Jackson of our time. No, heck no.
Yeah, people. I think one problem I have with us as a people, the black community, definitely now. We're Christians and we have to forgive, and that's for sure. But we are the softest, most forgiving community. People just do us dirty, and it's okay. Just give it a little time. This man sat here and he made a statement. Kanye West made a statement that a white would have been completely fired and counted for. And he was able to make it because he was black, and he came out with a new album. We accepted this. We accepted this. He's not I don't think he's a genius. I think he's musically a genius, but I think he's also an idiot in other things. I mean, he's selling bomb clothes for Gucci Louis prices to our people. You know, when he first came out with his clothes, I remember he was saying that he's making clothes that his people can afford and stuff like that. And now he's selling $400 shirts with holes in them, and you know, he's selling the shoes from the Power Rangers, first season of the Power Rangers and stuff.
But I don't see a whole lot of us wearing that.
That's what I'm about to say. I don't see that
I
happening.
do. Unfortunately, I do. And, you know, it's sickening. So, based on Kanye West, musically, I can't lie. Musically, I'm a fan. But as a person, I just kind of think, even when you're going through something, we all go through stuff. A lot of his statements and things like that is, you kind of got to take a seat.
Well, you're saying musically. Let's think about this for a minute. All right, I'm gonna ask y'all a list of three people. Would you consider Bill Gates a genius?
No.
I would consider him a genius. Kim?
Yeah, I think so too.
Mark
He's a hard
Zuckerberg.
worker.
Mark Zuckerberg.
An idea that he acted on, and
Absolutely.
it just caught on. It just caught on.
I think he's a genius. Now keep in mind, both of them, I didn't do this on purpose. Both of them went to Harvard. Look at even Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah, even their field. I think you talking about their field for sure, genius, no doubt.
So I mean, you know, and then when you look at the money perspective, all right, money, just because you make money don't make you a genius. But if you're a billionaire, and Kanye's a billionaire, he's doing something that works. He's a musical genius, yes. He's a musical genius, but he's not selling $9 billion worth of music, nor is he selling $9 billion worth of clothing. Somewhere Kanye West is a genius. Let's go to the comments real quick. It says a lot of Michael crazy accusations was rumors. It cannot be proven, but Kanye out there doing crazy things, and it's obvious he needs help. I don't think we have turned our back on him. We just want him to help and get help and shut up. You know what? I say we turned our back on him. I'm gonna tell you why I say that.
That's a good comment.
It's a very good comment, Tori. Right? Very good comment. I'm gonna pull it back up. She said, I don't think we turned our back on him. The reason why I say we turned our back on him is because I believe each and every one of us saw him on TMZ that time. And when he was on TMZ, he said that black people were slaves because they wanted to be. Remember that? He said it was a choice. And I think at that moment, you know, it's like, even if black people thought that, it's like, man, why are you telling our secret? Why you don't tell people what we thinking? Yeah. You know, and Kanye, now people give Kanye, especially white people, they give him the power. See, Kanye said such and such. And that's, okay, I won't say we turned our back on him, though. That's tough.
But I'll go this route with it. I think that we all talk a lot, and some people have the access to more media platforms than others, right? And Kanye has TMZ all over that cat. Wherever you take a move, take a poop, they right there for Kanye's comments, right? So I look at it like this. We all going to say stuff that we probably wish we could take back. Now, I'm not saying that comment specifically, Anthony, that he said about the slavery it's unintentional, but I just want to keep that in context too. I talk a lot within my inner circle, whatever, and I say stuff like, you know what, that was pretty dumb. I said that. I shouldn't have said that. But at the same time, I'm willing to go back and also apologize if it's something I need to apologize for. So I think that's something I got to keep in context is that, like, and I think we have turned our backs on them overall as a community too. I haven't specifically myself, but I mean, he also married who he married. So you got to live with some of the choices you make as well. So, but you ain't got to turn your back on folks just because they made the decision. It's their life. You can support them, they can pray for them, all the good stuff like that. But you know, that's where I'll leave it at.
I can't knock him for the Kardashian now, but my thing is, I saw the comment. I think Ty said if he wanted to hang with us for a day, he would turn it down. I would. He just seems like by the end of the day, I'll probably be done punched him in his face by the end of the day. You know, and I'm a pretty nice guy, but like I don't really hesitate to punch you in the face over certain stuff. And it seems like by the end of the day,
then again, he might not even be like that with you.
Huh?
And then again, he might not even be like
well,
that.
we can only go by what we know. Of course, we don't know the man, things like that. So I'm just saying from all the information that I've gathered, you know, I've been bewildered a couple of times by things that he said and done.
Hey, for example, real quick, like Super Bowl, right? Everybody saw that meme of him with his mask on over his face and you see the black face, right? He had the little scarf on his face or whatever it was on his face. But if you look at the whole totality of the Super Bowl, Yeah, that was a brief moment in time. He had that thing on his face. He was just jiving. He was going with the music at the Super Bowl halftime show. He was just having a good time. But that's what the highlight. They got the highlight was that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at that piece as well. You know. So
I got a friend that like to randomly choke people when they step out of line.
That's what I need to hate.
All right, Javon.
Hey, y'all, we've had a pretty good show. It's time to go ahead and wrap things up. So,
Hey, yo, Ace, who do we have on the show next week?
I'm discussing the topics that have to deal with the black family. So you know the food or the drink is good when the person says swallow instead of swallow. We're going to have an interview with librarians with Tourette syndrome. And the name of the show is going to be titled Breaking the Rules. And we will have their mics muted most of the time. Married couples that swing at the playground. Are they confused or just risk takers? Giggity, giggity. We'll see how that goes. You know,
Adrian, the Ace Stinson, and the rest of the rebrandUS crew live Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central on YouTube and Instagram at rebrandUS Podcast, Facebook at rebrandUS, or rebrandUS.org.
I work too hard. Look, I work too hard for this stuff, man.
Yeah. All right, yo, Ace.
Attorney General.
okay.
This is we coming up. This is the last show of this is the last show of Black History Month. Oh, last show of Black History Month. So I'm definitely going out on a black note. If you live here in our area in in Texas right now, you know we're going through it. It's the weather is very bad and probably will all be shut down tomorrow. So I'm going to interview a lot of people next week, and it's going to be people who work from home but still calling in for the ice day. That's pretty much as black as it gets.
Hey, I know people who've done that. Hey, we thank y'all very much for joining us this week, this month, tonight, making all the comments. Kirby, Ty, Antoria, everybody, Tony. I mean, Daddy. We've had a really good show. We thoroughly enjoy it. Stay tuned next week. We have a really good show for you. People who called in sick. Great month of March. March is Black Unity Month. March is Black Unity Month. Kim, tell them how they can get their t-shirts one more time.
Tune in sometime this week. Okay, just watch our page this week. I'll be coming on and giving all the information for the rebrandUS red, yellow, and green and black of the Pan-African colors rebrandUS shirt. So we just appreciate your support in advance, and we'd love to see y'all model it whenever you get it.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna end it the same way we started. We are just about through another month that celebrate the ones that paved the way. A month that recognizes the people who understands that they stand on the shoulders of those who came before them. February, which comes from the Latin word februa, which means to cleanse, named after the Roman Februalia, which is a month-long festival of purification. For us, it's a month-long festival of recollection and to pay tribute and to be proud. Tribute to Tony Goodson for being the first black person to attend Sulphur Springs High School in a segregated South. Tribute to Fred Hampton for being a revolutionary and sacrificing his life for a better America. Black history was, Black history is, and Black history will always be a cleansing of the spirit, allowing the soul to know that your skin is not your sin, but a virtue of your history. We'll see y'all next week.